priorities. Thanks once again for being on BBC World News. Give us your take on what we've been hearing about and who you think might be behind it.
Yeah, I think Andy is right on target with that. By every evidence implies that this was Israel, because back in February when they had when the Israelis claimed that there was an Iranian drone that had penetrated their airspace and had come from this very same airbase, and they attacked it then. So it appears that now then they're trying to take out more Iranian aircraft in drones to prevent any future incursions. So it could be that it's just kind of coincidental that President Trump has been, threatening potential new response for the last alleged chemical strike.
Also, given where we are with the war in Syria, and also the fact that it would seem that, the President Assad has got the upper hand right now, the US would think very carefully about intervention at this point, wouldn't it?
Well, I hope they do. The comment that your correspondent there made a second ago about some of the Republicans talking about we should take out the whole Syrian Air Force is just a very dangerous thing to do. And certainly before any action like that would have to be taking place, that's not something that the president has the authority to authorize, because that would almost certainly be launching a war. I mean, if we take out the Air Force of another country, that really is war, and then you've got the possibility of coming into contact and clashes with Russia, and the Russian Air Force is also there. And the last thing we need to do is to see that a contained civil war expand into an intrastate war and spread beyond, because that works against everyone's interest. And I certainly hope that's not anything the president's contemplating.
We've been hearing, of course, that President Trump has been looking to, his allies with regards to this situation in Syria. A conversation on the telephone with President Macron of France. Do you think he would have heard from Israel in advance of Israel's intervention, if it is Israel, of course?
I would give about a 90% probability. I won't say all the way through, because Israel is very famous for kind of going it alone on things that they consider their national interest out there. But I'm certain that if they didn't, they certainly would pretty quickly thereafter, because if nothing else, they would want to make sure that they coordinate and didn't get in the way of anything that we might have planned. So I'm pretty sure that by now that there's been cooperation going on in communications.
All right, Dan Davis, thank you very much for your time. Interesting to get your perspective on what's been going on. The breaking news we're covering today on the BBC, of course, attacks in Syria. Let's now speak to Steve Fish. You can see him there, politics professor at the University